Hi everyone, I'm Sunny, and today's pick a card reading is a celebrity crush reading, but it's like a yes or no format. So for the question is going to be whether your celebrity would flirt with you. So your celebrity crush. So I have 6 piles you guys can choose from. From top to bottom, I have pile 1, 2, and 3, followed by 4, 5, and 6. So if you need more time, you're more than welcome to pause the video and what's it called? I spaced out. You're more than welcome to pause the video and think about the person in your mind or the several celebrity crushes. It doesn't have to be just one. And then I'll see you at your pile or piles of your choice. Sorry, I'm like so nervous. Okay, so for the first one, pile number 1, would your celebrity crush flirt with you? You guys have a no as your response. This is a 2 of Cups reverse. I'm going to place it down. So the reason why your celebrity crush would not flirt with you is because, one, they possibly might be already in a commitment with somebody, like married, or they're like going out, or if they're going out, they're like secretly going out and they don't want people to know, or they're just coming out of a breakup and they kind of want to do their own solo thing. But that's more or less the story for you guys. They would not feel comfortable having like possibly a connection with a fan even at that, because that would not be ideal for them. I think maybe that would make them nervous because that's not something they're comfortable with, more or less, because like they would not trust you. Like, are you really in it for them, or are you in it for the fame, the glory, or like the association by name, right? Or just like a financial opportunity that could happen. So that's why it would be a no. I could also see them as not wanting to form a relationship with another person because they already have that relationship with themselves. I think they're very independent people as well. They don't want to be like, not necessarily dependent of somebody else, but like, hey, we're gonna do this, like, is this too risque? Like, is this gonna make you feel comfortable as a partner? Like, that's not something they appreciate too much. I think they do like not having to answer to anybody if they're not in a proper commitment. So that's why it's a no for you. So thank you, pile number 1. Pile number 2, oops. You guys have the Queen of Pentacles reversed. So this is a no. Your celebrity crush of interest would not flirt with you, likely because they would not see you as a romantic interest, because you're not. I think maybe because you're not, like, not to say that you're as rich as them, but like you're not as financially stable or independent, like someone that's reliable, possibly. They see that as like a big thing. I think maybe not necessarily that they're like materialistic, but it matters to them that you're not going to be leeching off their finances and opportunities. I think that's why maybe like they're used to that, having partners like that. So that's why it's important for them to know that like you have your own thing going on. So that's like why it's a no. I also think it takes a long time for them to form commitments, like proper connections with people of any sort. So they're not someone that would just like to meet somebody, how can I say, just because, like not a momentary fling. They really have to establish that connection over time, and they probably can't see you like as frequently, so they wouldn't feel comfortable. They are someone that's very reserved, very private, and someone that might not have the confidence to be like, not wild, but within their, I guess, realm of fame, it would not be well seen to be spontaneous like that, like, because maybe they have to consider that if they're seen with somebody like out of the blue, like they could be disliked by the fandom, if you get what I'm trying to say. So yeah, someone that's very financially independent is someone that's going to be interesting to them, or maybe they're interested in someone like that because they themselves are not very responsible with finances, not necessarily because they're dumb or anything like that, but because sometimes because you're ignorant of certain things, sometimes of contracts, for example, people might find good loopholes to basically, what's that word? To scam them out of a good deal where the other person gets the most and they don't really get much royalties, for example, stuff like that. So yeah, this is someone that's like a youthful energy, not immature, but just more on the younger side, who still needs a little bit more experience. They're a little bit green. So thank you, pile number 2. Next is pile number 3. This is a no for you. You guys have the 6 of Pentacles reversed. Your celebrity crush will not flirt with you, pile number 3, likely because I think maybe you might have been attracted somewhat for the previous pile, maybe not, just for some. But I do think finances are important to the celebrity crush you're thinking about. I do think that, not necessarily that they misbehaved, but I think that sometimes, when celebrities are caught red-handed doing stuff they're not supposed to, so they try to clean up their image by doing charity work or stuff like that. It feels like that. It feels like they're kind of doing stuff like that to get on the good graces of the public. Or if they're not like that, there's someone that doesn't really think about people, or like, it just feels like I don't know why I feel that maybe this person you're thinking about, celebrity crush, seems like cute and all, but they're one way in the public, but behind the scenes, they're not as considerate, nice, as giving as you'd like them to be. I think that maybe they just do stuff for, like, not the fame, but they do stuff because it fills in their pockets. Or they do, like, brand deals that are real sketch, that are not necessarily reliable, but, like, they're flawed for the public use, right? So, like, for example, let's say they're advertising, I don't know, like, a random toothpaste, for example, and the toothpaste brand is, like, let's say they use X chemical or something, and, like, it's like bad for you, and they keep advertising and people keep buying it because it's the face of them, right? So it feels like that maybe they just don't do their proper research, for example. I also think they could be maybe on the stingy side. If it's not this scenarios that are lining up to your celebrity crush from what you know, because every person knows their celebrity crush with very different associations and stuff. There's someone that's a little bit stingy and greedy, and they're like, what's that? I think it's from is it Scrooge? From the Christmas Carol, I think. Where he's like, no, all my money is mine. Like, no giving to the poor. It's stuff like that. But yeah, your celebrity crush wouldn't flirt with you because you possibly wouldn't give them an advantage like that makes them look good. In that way, finances are important for this person, for good or for better, for worse. So thank you, pile number 3. Next, I have pile number 4. Right, you guys have the King of Cups reversed. This is a no. Your celebrity crush would not flirt with you. Your celebrity crush is a lot icier than you might think. Maybe because they've been messed up before emotionally by love. It's like maybe they just always had the short end of the stick. So maybe that's why they're a little icy, a little reserved, a little bit more, I don't want to say practical, but they really make sure that they check not their X's and O's, but they check their list, right? I forgot what I was going to say. But they make sure that they don't just, like, give off their affection just freely. So I think there's someone that's learned a lot of harsh lessons, unfortunately, but maybe that's some lessons they needed to learn. I do think this person is very loving and giving and nurturing and emotionally mature when they want to be, but it really takes a lot for them to take out that side of them, because I can't say that word right now. Vulnerability, yes, is not something they wish to show easily, because that could be turned against them. So they're very protective energy here of themselves, particularly of their emotions and their heart space. So that's why they would say no. There's someone that's really protecting that, because they're putting up walls, particularly to self-preserve themselves, for self-preservation purposes, right? I do think over time they could open this heart, right? But I don't know necessarily if meeting, like, fans and stuff would open that heart space the way you think it would, because I think they want more substantial relationships with people and connections. I think they want more in-depth conversations, and not just superficial, like, oh, thank you. Like, they don't do so much with the compliments. I don't think they really care about them, like, in that way of, like, feed my ego. Like, no. This person is very sensitive, and not they must have their reasons why they're sensitive. I think they become sensitive and in tune with who they are and people around them, so they don't make connections. They really put those connections that matter the most very close to their heart, and they're very protective of them. So they would probably hide that away from the public. So if they do form a connection with somebody, they would become the King of Cups upright. So this is a no. That's why they would not flirt with you. Pile number 3, 4, whichever pile it is. I'm sorry. So thank you, pile number 4. Yeah, it was 4. So next, pile number 5. You guys have the 8 of Swords upright. So this is a yes for you. Your celebrity crush would flirt with you, but here's the thing. Somehow there's mental games here, and there's mental anguish and angst and anxieties. So I don't know if this is coming from them or you, or possibly both parties, but I feel that either one, manipulation tactics would be used to get to this person, like to open their heart and flirt with you, or vice versa. Or they like would try to manipulate their situation and be like cunning with you. It's either or. So you read the situation as it goes, but I do think that there would be a lot of anxiety, because there would be a lot of mistrust. Like, is this person real? Is this person honest? I don't know. Is this really happening? And it's coming from both sides, I feel. But it's like, it feels too random. And maybe you're thinking about it, and then finally you're like, I don't know. Something about it feels like, if you're the person that approaches them and flirts with them, and they flirt back and reciprocate after a while because they are catching on to like the smoothness of the conversation, I feel that you would get like a flight or fight mode of like, okay, what now? But like you wouldn't move or do anything because you would freak out. It's like, or like you'd be like faint. Or this person would be kind of taken aback because you would be forthcoming, and you would have a natural flirting conversation that somehow leads them to be like they can't do much and say much because they could possibly be around cameras, or they can possibly be around not cameras but people, and like anything can be seen. So like if they say something or do something, damned if they do, damned if they don't, right? So they would just allow you to maybe flirt with them, but I also think that they would go along with it because it was forced, right? It could be one of those scenarios too. It's like, I feel guilty, like, if I don't do this because this is a fan. So they would flirt. But they might not mean much because it is sword energy. It feels like it's lighthearted. Even though it's heaviness, it feels like it's trying to make something lighter out of something uncomfortable, maybe of a situation that's uncomfortable. That's more or less the energy that this reads. It's like, I'm doing this for the gram, for example. For the people, like fan service, lip service, stuff like that. Nothing more beyond words. I feel it's just flirtatious words, like you're super cute, you're super hot, you're sexy, or like you can't call them and they like freeze up, stuff like that. It feels like there's this energy of like, I'm going with it, but it's not my I'm not super comfortable, but I'll take it because there's nothing above that, right? It's like they can sense that there's nothing else will happen because it's just words. That's it. No like physical action or something. It just feels like, maybe some distance, but they're still like talking, conversation, stuff like that. Or maybe you call up the radio station. I don't know if that's still happening. Or like maybe they have like a TV segment and they're taking in calls or something, or you're like in the audience and they pull you in, and so like they just go with it because it's like public, that can be seen. So, but they don't do much, like internally it's not something that they think much about, even though it's just scary. Like it is a deep card, but they're trying both sides, maybe they're trying, but specifically them, are trying to make light out of something uncomfortable. But it does make them feel anxious and uncomfortable overall. But this is a yes, like, but it's not a positive yes. I don't feel this is a positive yes. I feel this is like an uncomfortable yes, that I'm doing this, but like it's part of my contract, or it's part of the criteria that comes with, you know, being a celebrity, unfortunately for them. So, you know, like, it's just that vibe. It feels like that. So I don't know if this is like a positive yes, that I just don't feel comfortable with this positive yes, you know. So thank you, pile number 5. Pile number 6, last but not least, you guys have the Tower upright. So this is a yes for you. Your celebrity crush would flirt with you. However, it would bring a lot of chaos. And I don't know if it's because it's a chaotic situation, or like an unfortunate events are happening, and then like you're trying to, I don't know if you're like, example, the way I'm trying to say is, get this vibe of like, imagine someone trying to comfort you in like a funeral, but they're trying to flirt with you and trying to make you feel quote unquote better, if you get the gist. That's not a good scenario to make people feel better in that way. And they, you know, someone's trying to take advantage of the other person when they're at the weakest. It feels like that. Or it could be chaotic, where it's like there's a unfortunate event, like, oh, the traffic light like broke or something, and like the bus was there, and you're like chatting up a conversation with them, and then they start flirting. Like, it was an unfortunate scenario where it's like, oh, everybody was stuck in traffic and like no one got hurt or something, and maybe they have to do media and stuff like that. Like, there's a lot of chaos and it caused like an outage and stuff like that, and like you just happen to be there, and like they have a conversation with you. It's like that, where it's like, imagine an unfortunate situation, but you guys end up flirting. I don't know if it's better than one of the previous piles. I'm not going to say which one, but it does feel like, I don't know if this is a positive yes, I'll be honest, but, or it could be like, imagine you guys are flirting, maybe from prying highs, but it ends up being public, like somehow it gets leaked, and it brings a lot of chaos into your lives. Like, maybe you guys maybe you get fired, or maybe nobody wants to take you in, or maybe like because it's such a scandal, or like they just tarnish your reputation of like being a homewrecker or something, or for example, because they were with somebody, or they were like rumored to be with somebody, and it's like, it's a well-liked celebrity too. Like, it's one of those things where it's like unfortunate, chaotic scenarios would come about this flirting, or from this flirting, or would make this happen. It's like coming to or coming from. So you take that as it resonates. It could also mean that you guys grow a lot of psychological issues. Like, maybe it's like one of those things where it's like you guys become very paranoid about, they themselves can become very paranoid about being seen with you, or it's like, how can this affect me? Is it one of those things that's like going to be an issue? Or it can like bring anxiety for you, because you're like, oh, this is a celebrity, they have so many people they could flirt with, they end up flirting with me, but now what? Like, it brings up a lot of dark confidence issues, a lot of those like controlling vibes, you know, where it's like, I'm trying not to be like this, but it's kind of getting to me. So again, like, a lot of chaos comes from this connection of flirting. So it is a yes, but I don't know if necessarily it's a positive yes to say like, oh, this celebrity is flirting with me. Is this gonna make something better? It is a tower where it's building a stronger foundation. So maybe from this mistake, you both learn to, you know, choose better people to flirt with and like make connections with. But again, like, just because something bad's happening, something good can happen from it as well. It's not always like super, super toxic and negative, but, you know, do take what resonates from each pile or from each interpretation. But I do feel that's more or less like, it would be a lot to handle, and it would be a whirlwind of emotions and chaos surrounding your life if you decide to flirt with your celebrity crush back and forth. Like, it's a two-party thing, okay? It's not just one. So I can't just blame you specifically for that. It's like this person had to take responsibility for their part too. So that's what I have for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this. It was a different type of mini reading. I'm supposed to make it quicker, but I think I took longer. So thank you guys. Please subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed this content, and I'll see you soon. So bye, everybody.